Hello everyone and welcome to the Counsel Code, a podcast series from Volody. I'm 𝐸𝐿 Kapile, VP of Sales at Volody and your host for this podcast. At Volody, we are a leading legal tech software company that has been transforming the legal landscape since 2016. Our solution portfolio includes contract lifecycle management, litigation management, insider trading software, empowering the legal team with cutting-edge technology. This podcast is designed to bring valuable insights to the legal community through a conversation with the top legal experts. We'll explore their professional journeys, key learning, challenges, strategies, and perspective, all to provide you with a deeper understanding of the evolving legal world. After all, it's just not about the law, it's about the stories behind it. Let's get started. Today's episode is exciting to me as we have a distinguished and senior personality, Anubhav Kapoor ji, with us. Welcome, Anubhav ji, to the podcast.
Thank you.
Anubhav ji is a seasoned legal professional with over 27 years of experience across various industries. He is currently serving as a General Counsel and Senior Vice President at Motherson Group, a global manufacturer of automotive components. He began his legal journey as a Head of Legal and Company Secretary at Domino's, and since then, he has held key positions at renowned organizations include Tata Technologies, Cummins India, Ford India. Anubhav's achievements has earned him many well-deserved recognitions, including some recent ones. India Business Law Journal In-House Counsel Award for the automotive industry for year 2024-2025, Allied BW World Top 100 General Counsel of the India by Business World Magazine BW Legal Group in 2021 and 2024. He is also listed under the GC Power List India 2024. World's leading IP strategies, IIM 300. He received the award for 5 consecutive years from 2015 to 2019 by IP Strategy 300. Awarded honorary doctorate by the Young Scientist, University California, USA for the excellence in the field of law in March 2028, Mumbai. Listed under the World's Leading General Counsel 2018 Legal Era Group in November 2017, Mumbai. He is also the member of CII Legal Services Community, currently as well as for the past several years in various capacities. Anubhav's specialties are complex transactions, negotiations and management, corporate governance, regulatory compliance, global subsidiary management, merger and acquisitions, corporate restructuring, litigation management, international arbitration, enterprise risk management, IP, team building and leadership. Anubhav, thank you very much for joining us today, and we are excited about this conversation and can't wait to just dive in.
Thank you, 𝐸𝐿.
All right, Anubhav, what inspired you to pursue a career in law?
𝐸𝐿, that's a long story, but first of all, thank you for having me on this podcast and sharing the views. I think you all are doing great job in terms of putting the legal tech in Volody together, and it's a great software. And my story for inspiration to join law is also somewhere related to technology, right? So I come from a very middle class background, and obviously none in my family was lawyers. So in the last 2 generations, probably I'm the first lawyer in the family. So during our times back then in 89, 92, when I kind of passed my high school, there were very limited choices that were offered to us, right? Either you could be a engineer or a doctor. And if you couldn't be, then you chose every other profession that was left behind, right? So
correct, sir.
So I wanted to be a doctor, but then ended up as a chef, working as a chef. So after that was in 92 year, and that was also a year when India was going through a lot of transformation. Dr. Manmohan Singh had opened up the economy, and what ensued from 92 to 94 was opening up of the stock markets, and it was a years where a lot of changes were happening, right? A lot of new entrepreneurs were raising funds in the IPO market. I remember as a very young boy, I uh, not knowing much about the stock markets. I used to wonder what these guys used to sell forms on the side of the road. Right, it was more popular than even the sabzi mandi we got. There were more vendors selling the forms than than anything else. And if you would go to Delhi or Bombay, there would be all of these guys sitting up with
Correct.
forms. So slowly, I think we started getting into the whole understanding what changes are being brought because of the opening
Mhm.
of the economy and convertibility of the currency. And it was all about fundraising. It was also about freedom to grow. Well, India was very much constricted with licensing, and foreign exchange could not be brought in or brought out. So with all those restrictions slowly fading away, I think at that point of time, one of my uncles, who was a very early company secretary and chartered accountant, basically inspired me because his company kind of was going through an IPO, and they raised quite a it was a large IPO, and the whole company transformed after getting the fund. So he
Okay.
basically inspired me into the company secretary course,
Acha. Okay.
and that is how I joined the CS. And
Okay.
then after doing the CS, I think it was a pure stroke of luck, or
Okay.
that I got into into a situation in one of my companies where I was the company secretary that I had to visit different the Delhi High Court. I think
Oh.
Delhi High Court kind of influenced me, given that Delhi High Court has a very unique architecture of a well. Right, you can see all the floors from the center, and you could see all the lawyers going with their entourage, and all the glamour and the power that is exhibited in the Delhi High Court. I think for a young lawyer or a young company secretary like me, this was like almost opening a new world. So I think the whole awe attracted me to the profession to start with, and IP was my first love, right? So
Okay.
that is how and that is after that I kind of enrolled for law much later, and that's how I got into the legal profession.
Yeah, very interesting story, Anubhav. Thanks for sharing it. You have almost 20 years of a rich experience, actually. You would like to share some of your brief journey about your career?
Sure. I almost now have 30. This is my 31st year into the legal profession. And I think one highlight that I would kind of want to share with on this podcast is that I what made me kind of interested throughout was not the monotony of working in a company, but I kind of cherish that I could work in different industries across the years that I put into the legal profession, which gave me a very broad horizon into the different sectors and industries,
Correct.
and the different legal challenges that it kind of faced. And believe me, for an in-house counsel, it may not be as exciting as you get a new matter every day of your life,
Yeah.
or you get to change new matters or courts every now and then. For a in-house counsel, I think you have to live with the company,
Correct.
and also understand the dynamics of the company. More so, I think it is also important that you support the business of the companies that you work. So out of the 30, I think I spent 15 years in IT.
Okay.
And ITS sector, almost
Okay.
10 years manufacturing, and then the rest was in food and other pharma and industries like that, aerospace. So I think my exposure to different industries gave me a lot of insight into how businesses work and what are the challenges in different scenarios. And I think if I look back, I think these varied experiences that kind of make me what I am now. And I've held a dual role of a company secretary and a legal counsel during most of my career. So it also kind of gave me both the facets of the same coin, right? How
correct.
governance was important, and we were lucky to see so many changes and evolutions during the career that we had, because 92 the corporate governance was brought in with the establishment of SEBI, and then clause 41. But since then, I think the Indian corporates have come a long way, and a lot of the legal landscape on corporate governance and risk management has changed, and similarly on the legal side, I think we have evolved as a country in many ways. So I think it brought me the best of both worlds during the time.
Yeah, of course, I understand. I mean, working with different kind of industry, it's again a different challenge. So Anubhavji, it would be difficult as well actually when you work in a different industry. So how basically you are basically adjusted yourself with the particular different industry, with the different management teams, and how also basically you manage the big team also we are working under with you.
Milind, that's in fact, I've never practiced in a court of law, right? So I started my career with a corporate, and throughout I have been with corporates. Now, very early in the career, what I understood was that people look at you for solutions, right? They don't come to you for problems.
Correct.
And your worth is if you can provide a solution to them, or at least give them enough insight into what the law of the land is, so that they can derive a solution out of the knowledge that you share with them, right? If you're not in a capacity to provide a solution, I think so therefore and a lot of the colleagues that I saw in the industry who were maybe better lawyers than I am, they kind of gave or they spoke in a language which was very legalistic, and it used to confuse my the people who used to ask advice. So I think that is the part that you can see. I just picked up from there, and kind of from there I thought two things are extremely important to be successful as the in-house counsel, and I think I have just evolved and sharpened them over the years. The first is the business understanding. I think any business you are in, right, and you are not outside the business, you are inside the business. People come to you assuming that you understand what they do every day and what the company does every day, you know. So I think a thorough business understanding, and for that I think I make it a point to go to the shop floors. I make it a point to be in operations meeting to understand at least what are the hardships, what are the challenges, and what the fabric of the business that you are working in looks like, right? Because without an understanding of that, it will be very difficult to either relate to the people that you are providing solutions to, or even to participate in those discussions if you don't know what the challenges are. I think so business understanding being the topmost as a lawyer. Now, it is not necessary for a court practicing lawyer to have that level of understanding of a business, right? He needs to understand the business, but from a problem point of view, what is being presented to him. But for an in-house counsel, I think we need to know business not from a problem point of view, but from a solutions point of view, which is completely different and diagonally opposite, right? And the second, of course, is the solution mindset, right? Obviously, it doesn't help us to exaggerate the problem or make it big. I think what helps us is to break the problem into different parts and also find solutions for them. And also, I see that the in-house counsel is a guardian of, is a conscious keeper, and also a guardian of ethics and a mouthpiece of the senior management, right? So I think that communication skill in terms of and also kind of understanding the messages from the senior management and communicating it to the company as large, which promotes their interest, I think that gains you the trust of the senior management. I think that is a key factor as well, because if you don't develop that trust, then they may not come to you with even sharing what their problem is,
Okay.
right? So the first step is obviously to gain the trust of the senior management. Once you have that, then I think the other three things which really help you manage the in-house roles is that you should have a good team with good team members. You should
correct.
Engagement. Without a team, I think it is not possible to achieve the larger efficiencies and effectiveness. And then I think the team should not only be competent but also be updating itself constantly, because law is not a one-time thing. It's an evolving, living thing. It changes and it evolves over a period of time, and it also reflects the economic state of the country or the society in which you are operating. And now that the Indian businesses have become global, the challenges have even become global for us, because no longer it is limited to India, but you need to have a global understanding and a worldview of how the legal frameworks operate in different countries. While you can take specific opinion from the local councils, but I think when it comes to solution, I think your understanding at a high level does help you to find solutions and understand your business. And I think more recently, I think what really is helping is a tech enablement that is happening across the industry, in the legal. I think without that, the future of legal, I think, will be influenced in a very, very significant way by new tools like AI or technology that is slowly coming into the legal departments.
I agree with you, sir.
I think these are the few of the things which help us to manage
absolutely agree.
Legal team.
Agree with you. I mean, absolutely very good perspective actually, Anubhavji. But how basically you are managing the legal department? We have a team basically, and how do you able to manage basically the objective of the legal team with the business goals? Being a solution mindset, you already said that, but apart from that, any perspective you want to give, that will help.
Sure, Milna. So first of all, I think what is important in this, and this is a process, I think that has helped me. I remember in my early days when I was not very well versed how to do it at a enterprise level, but over the years, as my roles grew and my companies grew bigger, I think I kind of got the nitty-gritties of how to align the teams along with the goal. But for that, I think the first step is that your own understanding of the business goals of the company, right? And for that, I think it is necessary that not only you have the trust of the senior management, but you engage with them meaningfully, right? And also participate in the direction setting or the strategy setting discussions that are taking place, because without having a good understanding of it, that why the company wants to do what it wants to do, it is very difficult to kind of convince others and also get them follow or align with your goals, right? So the first step is basically to understand what are the goals of the company and how and what does it mean for the company if those are achieved. And then I think you then put the lens from your legal department or a legal lens or the head of the department, and then see that how you can as legal department contribute to the larger goals of the company. I think that's the important step which you as a legal leader would bring it on the table. And once you kind of get that lens right, then clearly you can see what are the objectives of the legal department in achieving the goals of the company, the larger goals of the company. And once you got the second step right, then I think it is all about how you percolate them and how you communicate them to the team. I think what has helped me is communicating these legal goals and also how they correlate to the achievement of the company goal with the larger team, and telling them in very simple language, how does this our role help in kind of promoting or achieving the goals of the company, and what is then in their control that they can do to achieve the legal goals, right? And then converting it into actions and KRAs and then the measuring parameters. I'm a very strong believer of that, of the principle that what gets measured get done, right?
Yeah, correct.
Because accountability of all is accountability of none, right? So I think if you have to effectively manage legal teams or people, then I think you have to clearly define what the goals are, what actions they need to take to achieve those goals, and how we are going to kind of measure the success or the failure of that goal. I think when these three elements are clear, I think it is a happy ending for both sides, right? Because at least even if you fail at the end of the period, you know that people tried, right? And I think that is the main part, or the more significant part of the goal setting process, that one, people are clear, they make efforts to achieve that, and then I think they have reasons to kind of either celebrate or not celebrate their goals. But I think it is the effort that is being made towards that goal that is important. So I think that kind of alignment has really helped. And obviously, the more larger your teams become, the more complex this process becomes, because you are not only managing one stream, but you are managing multiple streams where the goals itself can be diversified and varied, right? So but I think the base formula remains the same. Rest is how you communicate it to the team. So I think that has been the core of how I've been able to kind of effectively kind of set goals and align them towards the company goals while I lead the legal team.
Okay, interesting. So Anubhav, you started your career with the company secretary, and of course, as a litigation, there are of course a lot of litigations also you come across. And I understand as a senior member, basically you will always come across a lot of litigations across, right? So what's your approach actually to manage these litigations across different companies or different sectors? Are they different or are they same?
Sure, Milind. And I'll give you an interesting answer to this, because since I started as a company secretary, and company secretary is predominantly procedural law, right?
Yeah.
Litigation management is limited to grievance redressals and maybe some of the shareholders who reach out to the consumer courts, right? So or maybe go to the higher courts, right? So, but it is limited to that, right? But actually, my legal career started with the litigation, and that is what actually led me to the High Court, and where I could see all the lawyers, right? And it was the IP litigations where one party got in fact, two brothers in a family got a injunction. One brother got an injunction against the other, and I think after the injunction, literally the businesses that belonged to the other brother came to a standstill, right? And that is where the whole importance of IP dawned on me, that how can a brand name be of so important, has so much of value that it can influence the entire business. And also in terms of how litigation, what are the different tools. In fact, that was the first time I could see how difficult it is to unwind a injunction once you have got it, right? And that to an ex parte injunction. It is still, you can get it, but to remove it is pretty tough. But those are the techniques that I learned without understanding what litigation really meant. But obviously litigation has a lot of action because it is adversarial in our system, and also but it was much later in my career, maybe after 10-12 years, that I could understand the real strategy of litigations, when I was exposed. Because when I was in IT, the litigations used to be very limited, the court litigations. It was more of arbitration and settlements, because that's how the IT world runs, right? But
Yeah.
of course, there were dispute situations during the career, but it give me a reflection in terms of how important the drafting of the pleadings were. It is how important the choice of the lawyers is. It is important to analyze the the courts that you're operating in, and also in terms of the strategy that you follow, because there and also the clarity in terms of what you ask the court to adjudicate, right? Many people even falter on what they're praying or asking the court to give the judgment on. So I think it was much later that I could understand the nuances of a good litigation management. Of course, technology related to litigation management was I kind of implemented it quite early in many of the companies I worked in. But the real art of litigation came in much later, where in one of the companies I had extremely complex litigation environment with 700, 800 litigations, and also dispute resolutions, right? Which we had to, because it was it was a company closing down its operations, and everyone kind of wanted their cut of the pound of flesh. So, and being a large company, it had a very litigious situation. So it was at that point of time where I think all my knowledge learned over the years in terms of negotiations, in terms of dispute resolution, litigation strategies, and in terms of how a effective court management and litigation management can help you evade the crisis. Because if you don't do this, many people believe litigation is only about the lawyers you have on the board, but I think experience tells us that it is also about how you present your case and how you write your pleading. So I think it's over a period of time, it went the other way around for me. Now I kind of enjoy litigations more than the other work that I do.
Interesting. You can apply all your knowledge, experience actually towards it.
Right.
So Anubhav, related to compliance also, do you have some such type of experiences as well you want to share? Compliance management.
Yes, compliance management is one of the subjects which is close to my heart, because the moment I embraced IT as the companies, I think one of the features of IT companies is that is the expanded geographical footprint of these companies, right? Most of their customers are outside India, and also many of their offices are outside India. Right. While you are more familiar with the and all these organizations are very lean organizations, right? They may not have a lot of resources, and plus also, while you may be an expert in the laws of the country in which you are primarily operating, or you have qualification, but you can never master completely the laws of other countries if you have to really do 13 or 14 countries at a time, right? So this was a situation that kind of came early to me when I was working with the software companies. And at that point of time, we had Lotus and WordStars that you would call technology, right? People were still, I think, at least 7-8 years away from what we now call as compliance management systems, right? And also, I think the kind of infrastructure we can see now and the support we see now was not in there. So it was at that point of time that I kind of started kind of pondering on this problem, that how can we solve this problem technology wise, because there were like 3 problems which were before me. The the first was, I think, the geographical widespread, the spread or the footprint. The second was in terms of how do many of these countries had different languages, and the local
Correct.
people kind of did not read or write English. And the third thing was in terms of who would manage the content, because law is not static, it changes, right? And also, if you see the compliance management perspective, there not only you have to be sure that the compliance happens in terms of in letter, but also in spirit, right? And there has to be auditable mechanism for that.
Correct.
And second, in terms of not only the transactions have to be audited, but also you need to revisit your systems again and again to adjust or accommodate the new changes of law. So
Correct.
so I think with this challenge, I think one of my early successes which was related was to compliance system, where we could implement almost the automated mechanized compliance systems, detailed checklist, and with dual languages in almost 13 countries, which was basically very well appreciated because it really not only reduced the timeline, but also it created an awareness tool and a training tool for people, where people from Indian nationalities were moved to different countries to manage their operations, and
Okay.
also it was cost effective. So I think it was quite well appreciated, and then I kind of took that model and replicated
Okay.
in several of my other companies which I joined later.
Okay.
So compliance management, I think one has to be consistent, patient, and I think there is no better way to solve a compliance management solution than technology. So I think I would urge all my colleagues to move towards technology as far as the compliance management systems are concerned. But at the same time, I think you can have the best compliance management systems, but what is also necessary is the understanding of the laws, and also whether the tone from the top. If the tone from the top is not such that it supports compliance and it urges you to to comply with the laws of the land, then it becomes extremely difficult. So, and as senior leaders, I think that is the most challenging part of it, is to set the tone from the top.
Yeah, I agree with you. So Anubhav, you always been supporter of technology and always implemented the technology across the different companies you worked with. How do you think basically the AI is playing a role actually in the field of law, and how is helping the lawyers basically to make their life easier?
So Milind, you are in this whole legal tech, so I don't know if I can show the light to the sun, but I'll try. So I think, and I remember the first time I went to University of Michigan, and this was my first class in Ann Arbor, and my professor came in, and the first question he asked was, "Why are you wasting money on learning law? It is the technology who is going to give all the answers to you, right? And there's no point coming here, and you really need to think through why." And imagine the kind of shock I had, because it was something, education which I could only dream and not afford, right? And here I was putting all the good money, and this guy is kind of challenging me that I have not made a good decision, right? And the whole culprit was technology. But slowly, I think as we started the discussion, it dawned on me that technology can facilitate the process, but I think the ultimate analytical decision making will always rest with humans, right?
Correct.
So I think with that premise, let me explain you how AI can transform the legal functions in the future, right? And I think they are going to significantly influence the way we manage our legal functions and how also the legal departments are going to be organized. There is, for legal, I think there is I'll be surprised if any of the GC came to me and said that they were not constrained on resources and budgets, right? Because that's the story everywhere.
Yeah.
While the businesses are increasing, I don't think legal budgets increase at the same pace, right? And I think, but I think therefore in that context also, I think technology plays a huge role. And I think the more automated and app-based or tool-based you are, it kind of also helps you plan your budgets and resources better. But now with AI and generative AI that is becoming much more prevalent right now, I think there is a significant opportunity to not only reduce your cost but also to improve decision making.
Correct.
Right, and with the kind of AI tools that we are seeing now, which are much more interactive, that much more analytical, I think it is that power that has come to the hands of the lawyers, where they can kind of just take away some of the grunt work like research, though there are issues of hallucination and things like that we are seeing, but I think over the period of time, all this is going to kind of get more refined. But obviously, say for example, in a CLM kind of a tool or a contract lifecycle management, not only the tool provides a central repository, it helps the lawyers to kind of identify through AI a lot of those red areas that you are not as per your standards, but also kind of while you are editing, suggest you clauses and alternative preferences, and also in terms of the decision making, the workflow can be automated in terms of the empowerment that each function has. So in large organizations where people are not at one place or people are not in different time zones, I think not only the tools can help you, but it can also give you uniformity in decision making, and AI can also help you in terms of analyzing your issues much better in case of say CLM. Now similarly in litigation, I think there is a lot of opportunity of AI in M&A space as well, right? Because M&A is not right from the identification of the targets to due diligence and then later the closing conditions and integration. I think AI tools can big time kind of save cost for us and streamline the processes and help us integrate with the business, because at the pace, say, companies are becoming bigger and acquiring targets overseas, this is going to be a real powerful tool in the hands of the professionals. Again, in terms of business support, right, a lot of time, as you would say, 60%, 70% of the time goes in handling or answering basic queries, and still legal is never recognized as a business enabler, right? So I think here's the opportunity with AI assistants where many of this what you call low-level queries and basic assistance can be provided through AI assistants, and I think the time of the lawyers can be utilized better. So I think I can keep on speaking about how technology can help you in different aspects, but definitely the bottom line is this is going to be a significant influencer in the way we work, and it is, I think, an essential skill that lawyers are trained in AI. That is one aspect of it, because this is how lawyers can efficiently work. But on the other hand, I think AI tools are also promoting the kind of crimes that we have not heard of.
Yeah, this is another nuisance avenue.
Correct. And many of these issues come to us as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
So understanding technology and also understanding the way the technology operates gives you then added insight in terms of how you can utilize the laws and apply them to solve this modern day issues, including cyber crimes and hackings and things like that. And also, I think the third part is the new age laws, right? The new age laws are all data based or data driven, right? Many of the aspects that we are seeing are very much grounded in information technology or sharing of data across boundaries and fakes and deep fakes and things like that. And so are the issues of IP and or being complied or violated. So I think understanding of the new age laws will also become essential, and it will become easier if you understand the technology part of it. So I think technology will influence the way lawyers think, they work, and also in terms of their deliveries, right? So I think this is the important skill which we
everybody should have. Yeah. Absolutely. We are seeing basically new basically positions are coming up actually with the AI. It could be like basically everybody needs to have the knowledge of the technology actually to survive. So Anubhavji,
Milind, it brings so much of efficiency, because if you're into say government contracts, or if you are into large tendering processes and you have to respond at a really fast pace, it is impossible for human ability to kind of sieve through 400-500 pages of contracts.
Correct.
And tools kind of then at least will give you high level issues which you can easily digest and support the business with decision making. I think that's the kind of solution that really adds a lot of value to the legal team.
So Anubhavji, thanks for your giving perspective about the AI. What advice would you like to give to aspiring lawyers and law students?
Oh, I usually learn from them, right? Because we have been very fortunate to see almost 5 generations during our lifetime, or at least the career lifetimes, right? So I was reading this interesting article in terms of how in a workplace there are 5 generations that are working together, right? But the latest one, Gen Z, seems to be a completely different set with different aspirations and different goals in life, right? They are much more tech savvy. They want results faster. And of course, for us, it was you have to understand, read, work hard. But for them, knowledge is on the go. It is available on the touch of a button. So I think giving advice to the new gen is very difficult given the change in the mindset. But what I think one singular advice I would give, which applies to all these generations, is positive attitude, right? Given that they want faster results and faster achievements, I think there is a lot of frustration and mental health issues that are percolating down into the youngsters, and they are kind of their frustrations, maybe vis-a-vis their expectations in life, or the goals that they wanted to achieve and things like that. So definitely these people are more smarter. But I think what is also important is that they keep positive attitude and be patient and work towards their goals. Because I think without a positive attitude, I think nothing it makes any meaning. And I think it's that one advice I would want to give them, that always maintain positivity and have a positive attitude, and you will get your goals.
All right. Thank you, Anubhavji. So we are moving to the rapid fire question round. So I have some few questions which I want to answer. Yeah. All right. So what's the one word that comes to your mind when I say contracts?
Consensus.
Okay. How do you define success of a legal leader?
Humility.
What's your favorite legal term or phrase?
Hmm. Ignorance of the law excuses no one.
Okay. Which case in history inspires you most?
I think I will say two of them, right? I
Okay.
think
Mm-hmm.
I still love reading the Keshwananda Bharti
Okay.
matter, right? Because that was the first landmark decision by the Supreme Court, which kind of outlined the basic structure of the doctrine of the Indian Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it really changed a lot of things in the way we read Constitution or interpret Constitution even now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is this more recent judgment, which is basically Justice K.S. Puttaswamy, which kind of reinforced the fundamental right of privacy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was a very different treatment to the same principle, actually,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
but written in a very modern way or interpretation of the Constitution, right?
Okay.
So, and of course, that again kind of protected the fundamental rights under Article 14, 19, and 21. But
Okay.
it was a very modern treatment of actually the same principle. So,
Okay.
so I think both the judgments are one of my favorites,
Okay.
and they deal with different subjects. Yeah.
Okay. What's the one skill lawyer need that isn't taught in the law school?
Empathetic communication.
Okay. And how do you define the word justice?
Fairness.
Okay. What's the one word you would like to describe your legal team?
Competent.
Okay. And coffee or tea during the negotiation?
Coffee.
Yeah. Do you prefer a courtroom drama or boardroom strategy?
You're putting me in a spot. I think I like the courtroom. It is more open.
Interesting to understand. What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Don't give advice unless asked for.
All right. And how do you unwind after a challenging day?
Music. Yeah, music is very
Okay.
relaxing for me, and yeah, and sometimes cooking. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So thank you, Anubhav, so much for sharing your insights with us today. Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up?
No, I just wanted to thank you and Kunal for having me on this, and it was an interesting conversation, and I just wanted to compliment you on the good stuff that you are doing on technology side, because that's one thing I'm extremely passionate about for the legal profession. And so therefore, I think thank you all of you.
Okay. So thank you very much, sir.